Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, an absolute smorgasbord of sports. We're talking Women's World Cup. I've got some NFL looks. There's even some Ashes. What about you, Alex?
Having a look at a surprisingly large price for someone to kick goals against the worst team in the AFL.
Checks out. What about you, Stats Guy?
Japan to build their goal difference and an NRL future.
Nice one. We're talking player props, game picks, best bets. There's even 2 Rate My Multis for the Women's World Cup. It's all in Code Bet Daily. Better check it out right now. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Tuesday, July 25, all day. I've got a swivel chair. I'm going to keep swiveling. This is weird. Episode 159 here of Code Bet Daily. It is what it says on the tin. It's Code, just betting is daily. I am your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of that same website, CodeBet. Find it at codebet.com.au. I'm joined, as always, by the pontiffs. There we go. The pontiffs of punting. You got Alex Donnelly over there.
Yeah, cashed up after Alexandra Pop last night, doubling up. Stupid corners, but that's a different story.
The pop star went off. That was awesome.
That was great.
And we've got the stats guy with his booster seat in the chair next to me.
Oh, I am liking these chairs. I shouldn't be in the middle here, I don't think, but that's all right.
Yeah, you're the kid. You're in the middle.
I'll have to move next one.
I'm not convinced your feet are touching the ground.
Yeah, they're
definitely
actually dangling.
They're definitely not.
Either way, I'm fresh off going to the Women's World Cup last night, same as Alex.
Yep.
I took the squid. That was fun. He's like, Dad, are we going for red or white? I'm like, well, we've got a bit of money on the white team, buddy. So
The team in the white shirts. The team in the white shirts.
team in the white shirts. If
someone tries to cancel Jim.
not again.
Wasn't his words anyway.
The white shirted team. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically, if you want Christmas this year, pal, let's go for the team in the white. Either way, Code Bet Daily. It says it on the tin. As I said, we've got player props, game picks, best bets. I think we've got a couple of Rate My Multis today, covering off today's slate and tomorr's slate.
Yeah, not the 12 o'clock game.
No.
And then I've got a couple of the other NFL futures. So what am I looking at today? NFL, Women's World Cup, a little bit of an Ashes taste as well.
Nice.
Because we do have the 5th test on Thursday.
I don't care. We've retained the Ashes. Who cares?
To be fair, I really want to win now, just to because they're like, oh, we would have won the Ashes.
I want to lose this test so Piers Morgan can keep
Piers
complaining.
Morgan is the biggest.
And Merv Hughes just keeps calling him a flog. It's like my favorite internet interaction at the moment. Piers Morgan has this long thing and Merv's like, shut up,
That
flog.
was not on my 2023 bingo.
It wasn't? Piers Morgan
Piers Morgan versus
versus
Merv Hughes.
Hughes.
I wasn't predicting that one.
I had that.
Take it off then.
No, I would much rather Australia win it just because whinging Poms is not fun. It's like they do love it, and that would literally be all they would do about cricket.
Then they got no argument if we win that one as well.
So if we do win it, then it's just like, all right, shush, just go back, play with your Baz balls, and away you go. I'm going to talk about some Women's World Cup, obviously, as well. Stats Guy, what about you?
Women's World Cup, of course, and an NRL future.
Nice. Alex?
Women's World Cup and a lot of goals in the AFL this weekend.
Really?
Looking ahead.
Interesting.
Nice.
Let's do it. Player props. Player props.
We actually have a button.
I think we have a button for
Where's
that.
the button?
Props.
Press the button.
Oh, God. God, this is
We had it
a
last week.
professional show. He
right.
broke it.
Gerald's broken. My
It's too many
player
James's voices just all coming through his ears.
It's
I don't know.
Jim Inception. That's what it is.
Jimception.
Jimception.
Coming to cinemas near you.
Yeah, it's a teaser after Oppenheimer.
Okay, maybe have the
saw
best
that
bets
one.
one ready for later.
Either way, player props. Either way, simple one for me. Look, I talked about the NFL yesterday in terms of the leading receiving targets, etc. I talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown, not to be confused with his brother Equanimous.
Or the Egyptian god. Yeah.
St. Brown. But there was one that I've talked about before about how Jamar Chase is actually a really good one for the receiving yardage title. His QB, Smoking Joe Burrow. Love me some Joe Burrow.
Awesome,
$7 for passing yards lead up. You might go, geez, he only had 4,475 yards last year. And you might be right, because that's how much he had. That only came in 16 games, though. If he played 17, like the 4 blokes above him, he would have finished second behind only Pat Mahomes. The thing is, Burrow came on only 606 attempts last year, which is actually a fair duck below the other guys as well, because the Cincinnati run game has been really, really good. And I think it's almost their success works almost against them because the Bengals have been pretty solid the last 2 years. They get up, they run the ball, less passing, etc.
Yep.
But I think this year, especially with a fully healthy Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and our man T. Higgins, he literally has the best receiving corps in the NFL. The best receiving corps in the NFL. I love him. I think they're going to be slinging that pigskin this year.
Nice.
So give me Smoking Joe Burrow, $7 for passing yards leader. And the guy who actually came second last year, Juzzy Herbs. Love me some Justin Herbert. He's $8. He was second behind Mahomes last year. I think they let him loose even more this coming season. He's got the same weapons, a little bit more. I think second year of his head coach as well. I think they'll just go, right, have at it, Herbs. Have at it, mate. And off he goes.
Nice.
He's got an absolute bazooka for on his right shoulder. So I think Herbs or Burrow will probably win it. I think Mahomes might just sort of like...
Is Mahomes the favourite, I'm guessing?
He's the favourite still. But I feel like Mahomes, to go over 5,000 again is probably a good bet as well. But for the passing yards leader, I think one of these two can actually just pip him. Because Mahomes, they might just rest him down the stretch.
Yeah.
Kansas City could be that good. Doesn't matter. One little taster as well for the fifth test. As I mentioned, Dave Warner.
Oh.
This is your last chance, Davey.
I've heard that about
he's gonna score 60 because it means nothing and it's gonna get him through summer. And we're gonna hate it because we're gonna have the farewell tour with him and Candace.
My exact point. If there's ever a time for Dave Warner to shine, it's when the pressure's off and he's gonna save his job.
And no one cares.
No one cares. Simple as that. So it's now $7 though for him to be the Australian top run scorer in the first innings. Okay. This absolutely screams to me that he just sticks in and scores like 124.
Or he just scores 100 in the first
It's good because it will help us win, but it's annoying because that means he's going to have 10 more tests where he's going to score 0.
And then it's like we play, I think it's like West Indies and Pakistan this summer.
So he could score well against him.
Yeah. It's going to
keep
suck.
his spot all the way through.
And then he's like, Sydney, yep, I'm going out on top. It's like, you actually suck against good teams.
Anyway, but $7 for the top run scorer, it just sort of stood out to me just because I love me some Marnus.
Yep.
Love me some Steve Smith. But I feel like Davey, just with the pressure off, he can just go hammer and tongs. And
Hope Usman scores 300. That'd be great.
Right, what about you, Alex, for player props?
Having a look ahead to the most anticipated game of this round of the AFL.
Absolutely.
Sunday twilight at Perth Stadium.
17th versus 18th?
Yeah.
Nice.
What are we
Yeah,
on?
we actually need a
16-game
win to
losing streak versus a 17-game losing streak as West
It all
Coast
comes down to
and
this.
North Melbourne take on each other. Somehow, even if North Melbourne lose, they won't be last because West Coast percentage is so
if
bad.
they randomly pull out another win, though.
I've seen them play. No.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, I love big forwards kicking goals. Charlie Curnow has kicked 19 goals in 2 games. Tex has 10. The Swans kicked 30 goals against them. Someone who kicked 6 goals against them in round 1 is the Suva! He is $12.50 to kick 6 goals against this embarrassingly bad West Coast Eagles team this Sunday. He was $19 yesterday. Someone may have taken their $19.
Jaymz somehow switched the market.
Someone also may have steamed into $12.50 this morning, seeing he's literally $5 elsewhere at all other bookies that we have here at CodeBet. He's kicked 6 in his last 2 games versus West Coast. He also had 3 in a game against them in 2021. He also kicked 4 goals last time he was at Perth Stadium against Fremantle. And their defence, despite the fact they're not winning, isn't too
lot
bad.
stronger, yeah.
This Eagles defence has injuries left, right, and centre. Like anyone who sort of like goes to turn tears a hamstring. Simple as that. Suva, he's going to feast. $6 goals, $12.50. Charge. Let's go.
I think the weird thing about Charlie, so Charlie had 10.
Yep.
He could have had 12 at
Yep.
least, but he just actually missed a couple of set shots.
And
And,
off, I didn't actually see that.
and he actually had like probably
Suva
2 or
hasn't
3.
missed a set shot in 4 weeks.
This is exactly
he's
right.
he's an amazing
This is
kick,
why
yeah.
I love this bet because Suva.
He could have
is-
7
kick in the
touches and
comp.
kick 6 goals.
Exactly. He gets like basically takes a couple of
Oscar
snags.
Allen's missed 1 goal in 6 weeks.
Whereas Charlie kind of missed a couple of set shots, but the lead up target of Suva versus Charlie and like the Carlton forward line is usually a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is actually less of a mess now that Harry's not there.
I was about to say the North Melbourne forward line is clear out the space.
Give Suva that spot.
Like
and he's
it
gonna
is
kick it.
Suva's area.
I love it. That's great. I'm already on it, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I was
let's go.
about to say the 50s is pita bread.
Nice.
Leave it all to him.
I like
Stats
it.
guy.
FIFA Women's World Cup. Of course, we talked about Pop last night scoring two headers, which was absolutely awesome.
Loved off.
Cheering her on. Having a look at another superstar, Switzerland versus Norway. Norway's Ballon d'Or winner actually in 2018, I found out, Ada Hegerberg. Hegerberg has the most goals in Women's Champions League history. She's just an absolute star. She's got 43 international goals. I think she's 28 now. She's a bit more experienced.
Jeez.
She had Norway did lose to New Zealand, which was one of the biggest upsets of the tournament so far. She did have 4 shots, but they were playing really defensive, which I was very surprised about for a team that's much higher ranked than New Zealand. To improve their goal difference, they're going to have to play attacking here. especially against Switzerland, who are also pretty lower
Did
ranked.
you watch them in the first game?
I did watch them, but they didn't play attacking enough. I think they're going to come out and play really attacking. Hegerberg did have 4 shots. I think she's going to have to have a few more shots to finish one here. She scored in 7 of the last 8 matches. And that match obviously against New Zealand, they didn't even get a goal. So I think they're going to have to play attacking. If they're going to play attacking, Hegerberg is their absolute star up front in striker. So and she did score against the Swiss in the last meeting where they did win 2-1. That was the start of the year. So Hegerberg anytime goal, I think is great value at $2.80. They're going to bounce back. I think they're a much better side. And then first goal, a lot of the star strikers are getting that first goal as Pop did last night. You get a bit better value, $5.50 rather than your $2.80. So get on Hegerberg.
Nice one. They really do need to play attacking, right? Because with Switzerland and New Zealand already having won.
So they're going to have to try and win 3-1, 2-0 or something like that. So if they're going to score a few goals, Hegerberg's going to score one of them. And she takes their penalties, as we talked about yesterday. There's been a lot of penalties. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't see it happening.
You don't see Hegerberg scoring?
No, I just don't see Norway being attacking and scoring after that.
Yeah,
game
I don't know.
night.
I'm not saying they're going to score a lot of goals. I think the max is they're going to score is like 2 or 3. But we'll see.
Nice one. I'm about to talk about that.
Yeah, so am I.
Match/game picks.
What's your best match
Good
or
job.
game?
He's rattled by 2 gyms.
I'm talking Switzerland, Norway tonight as well. Norway, $2.20 just head to head. Love this.
Yep.
Norwegians have never lost 3 in a row in a World Cup. Well, in World Cup history, in their World Cup history. They lost to England last time out in
course, they got knocked
the
out.
quarterfinal.
Yeah, they're a good team.
And they lost to New Zealand in this one. I think they bounced back. I just feel like this is going to be a pretty tough, tight struggle, which is why I'm just sticking with Norway head to head. I feel like this is 1-0, maybe 2-0 at best.
Agreed, yeah.
I think it'll be very, very tight. I mentioned yesterday New Zealand to win against the Philippines as well. $1.75 yesterday, $2 for the halftime, full time. And look, Philippines stink. We know that. Spain, Zambia. This is an interesting one.
Not really.
Well, it's more interesting about how much pain Spain's going to put on.
There
them.
we go.
They're going to bring the pain to Spain.
They had like 8 million shots.
46.
Exactly.
There you go.
46.
I don't know how they didn't score 8 goals. As someone who took, over 4.5, I'm still kind of
If
getting
you
over
have
that
46 shots, you should at least score 5 or 6.
Probably.
It's pretty painful, man.
So they're over 5.5 goals for this, just for the game.
Yeah.
$2.25.
Ah.
Zambia lost 0-5
good.
to Japan.
Yep.
This is the thumping. They gave up 5 goals twice to South Korea in the lead up to this Zambia. They also scored a couple as well. So if you don't feel like Spain
I reckon they could get
have
one,
that sort of vibe, this could easily be like 5-1.
This is when
Yeah.
South Korea were
Over.
finagling around before the tournament. They hadn't won all year in internationals.
And so there's like 5 and 6 goals in their games against Switzerland and Germany as well. So look, Spain will win. And I feel like the over is going to hit as well. So this is like probably if you want to go safe, 4.5, but 5.5, I think it's going to be an
Safe.
absolute-
There's going to be
safe.
5 goals.
5 goals in this game.
I'll be
But I
happy with
feel
that
like
in every North game, lock it in 5 goals.
5.5.
That's the St Kilda game.
Out of St Kilda game. Yeah.
I think this could get pretty ugly pretty quickly, similar to what we saw Germany and Morocco.
yeah.
Yep.
Nice one. What about you there, Alex?
Well, I saw Stats Guy had it on his rundown, so I'm not
you
going
just like copying me this week?
No, actually, I wrote. I was like, Stats Guy had it, so he can go into more detail about it. Japan at over 5.5 goals at $5 against Costa Rica. Obviously, Japan beat Zambia 5-0. They're going to be way too good. They're going to be way too slick. They're going to win again, and their goal difference will be the reason why they will top the group.
Nice.
Oh, you're backing me. You're helping me with the top of the group.
I was about to
That's
say
what
they'll, them and Spain might draw, but
Yeah.
their goal difference is going to be key.
Yeah. I'm going to touch on that
So, yeah,
quickly
you
as
go
well. With Japan topping the group, got them at $6 last week.
I like how he's bragging about it after it's happened. Like, it still hasn't happened.
I
He's
tipped
like,
it.
I got the better price. Screw all of you.
I'm not saying it's going to win, but I still think they're pretty good value. $3.25 to top the group with that goal difference.
so that's better.
Spain. It will come down to that Spain-Japan game, but I think if Japan can get a draw, then they're going to have the better goal difference. So $3.25, I think is really good odds. When I think Spain are $1.50 or even less now. But yeah, I'm going to look at the Japan-Costa Rica game as well. Spain had a huge 46 shots against Costa Rica, as I mentioned last time. They hit the bar.
It is still
46
just,
is so
it's such a
much.
ridiculous
Yeah.
number.
It literally
It's more than
sounds like an
AFL
AFL game.
Yeah, it's
Like,
more though.
I think only one team would have had like 40 shots this year.
It's ridiculous.
Well, 2 teams. Whoever's played West Coast, Adelaide and Sydney.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like,
And it's in a soccer game.
I mean, I do that in FIFA, but
But those 46
score 11.
shots, those 46 shots, as Alex just mentioned, they only scored 3 of them.
How many were on target?
Japan got 5 goals in their first game. Costa Rica are a lower ranked side. I think if they're going to get around that 30 shot mark, which they should, they're going to score more than 3 goals. Costa Rica have 1 win in their last 12 matches. And I was talking before, how the hell did they qualify? But they must have had an easy run or something. I was very surprised.
I like how I had to teach Stats Guy how qualification works.
I know how it works, but
with zones in.
every team that's sort of
CONCACAF,
coming,
baby.
yeah, there's some bad,
Let's go.
some bad regions. Japan have won 4 of the last 5 games. They've beaten Australia and Canada recently, who are obviously really good sides as well. So they're just going to absolutely tear it up. I reckon it's going to be a similar scoreline of that 5-0 over Zambia. So Japan and over 3.5 goals, bit safer than the 5.5. $1.87, bit more value there. They're going to play attacking. They want to keep up that goal difference, as Alex mentioned, to stay above Spain. And Miyazawa, who scored 2 last game, is going to help that a lot. So $1.87 for Japan and over 3.5.
They only had 12 shots on target, Spain. So they're 1 in 4.
That's a lot of shots on target.
But
Some
that's
people
still
don't.
pathetic
most
for
teams had,
46 shots.
Yeah, I know. They hit the bar though. Bar and post doesn't count as shots on target, and they hit it like 3 times.
Yeah, well,
pretty nuts.
1 in 4.
I love it though. Japan and over 3.5.
They're my favorite team.
I've gone 5.5.
Great
That's
kit like
gonna-
their men's team, and
Great kit.
very fast in attack. So
So what are they called as opposed to the Blue Samurai?
I'm not sure how to say it, but it's a flower.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as the blue samurai.
Yeah.
That is.
We were
not
hoping
as
it was
exciting.
something like that, but it's like a flower in
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah. I
Cool.
won't say it because I don't know how to say it.
It's the Spice Boys like Granada.
Yeah, we need Granada in the World Cup.
Granada in the men's tournament.
Hello, Fada. We're the Spice Boys from Granada.
It's not reggae girls as well.
Hey, the Rego girls, they're a chance. Actually, no,
bets.
their
No, they
best
are.
player got red carded.
Yeah. They're no
I
chance.
take it back.
Best bets for today, tomorrow, whenever. Got a few.
You come
today.
back and the sound bits have just gone to hell.
Best bets. It's time.
Either way, NFL
And
MVP.
you're fired.
I talked about this in today's paper, actually. Jalen Hurts, like Mahomes is the favorite for MVP.
That's
You've obviously
good.
got Joey B, smoking Joey Burrow. You've got some other sort of names floating around there, but the one that sort of stuck out to me that sticks out still is Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
$11 he was just it's probably $2-3 like above what it probably ought to be, which is probably taking into account like any sort of injury risk and stuff like that.
Yep.
He is a rushing-ish QB, but that's also why his MVP odds are so tasty, because of all the running backs last year. Running backs, not quarterbacks, running backs.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts had more touchdowns or equal or more touchdowns than absolutely every single one of them bar one last year.
Really?
Running backs. That's their
that
job.
running back is that's
their job to run
Wow.
in touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts went, that's not even a job. Look at this. Check it out.
He's playing. two
Ran in
positions.
13 touchdowns. He had 22 passing touchdowns last year as well, 6 interceptions. That was a lot of the knock on him going into last season as well. The interception to passing turnover ratio, not great, but improved it last year. It looked really, really good. I think Philly are going to be even better than they were last year when they had a pretty soft schedule. I think they're just going to be absolutely flying through this season. And this is the way you win an MVP in the NFL, right? You sort of your team puts together a solid season.
Yep.
And you have like pretty good individual statistics. And as long as your defense doesn't overshadow what you can do on offense, then you should probably win the NFL MVP. Aaron Rodgers won it back-to-back. Then Mahomes won it last year. It was a bit of a debate for a big chunk of last year, but Mahomes got there in the end because his team success was so great.
success in
And
American
he was
sports,
just awesome. Like, he threw for over 5,000 yards anyway. I reckon Hurts will have a bit more of a Lamar Jackson-ish kind of season. Lamar won a unanimous MVP, was it 4 or 5 years ago now? Running in a lot of touchdowns, doing enough in the passing game, and Baltimore were really good. We're going to see the exact same thing here with Jalen, I think. Cool. $11 for MVP. I'll be all over that right now, pre-season.
Very nice.
Right. Should we save some Rate My Multis to the end?
Sure, yeah,
Because
I
that's
go.
mine. So
Cool. Stats guy.
Yeah, some NRL top 4 look. I'm looking at the Canberra Raiders. I think Alex tipped and Phil actually tipped them a month or so ago.
longer than
Or was
that.
it longer? That
Yeah.
okay, felt like not that long
Dead
ago.
set 2 months ago.
They're back out to $5.50, but
which
I
is
still
what
think
fills on it.
yes, I really I don't mind the value though. I think they're going to drop. They've still had a great few months. They're up to 5th, equal points in the top 4, just outside of percentage. They've won 10 of their last
For and
13
against.
games.
It's called for and against in NRL stats guy.
For and against. Okay, there you go. Won 10 of the last 13 games in great form, and they actually have a pretty easy run home. Their last 6 matches are the Knights,
Yep.
Tigers, Storm, Bulldogs, Broncos, and Sharks. I'm locking in. I know it's not always going
I'm
to be the
looking
case.
in 3.
Yeah, I'm locking in 3. So you got Knights, Tigers, and Bulldogs, but they have a really good record across the last few years against the Storm, and they have beaten the Sharks earlier in the season. So
Interesting.
They could
They've
get
also
up
got
to
a bye.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's an extra 2 points.
Yes, so that helps. And then I was looking at the Storm and Sharks that they have really tough schedules to finish off, who are around that same mark, same points. So yeah, I really think they can sneak in at $5.50 is pretty good odds. They've got a strong offense, 23 points a game through Geordie Rapinoe and Corey Horsburgh. The horse, he's been in great form. And then they just need to lift their defense. They can see the sixth most.
It's not going to matter with this many games to go. They're 130 points behind on for and against.
Yeah, I'm not saying, I'm just talking as in to win games. I'm not talking about
they just need to keep winning. You don't need to worry about it. Let's not get percentages in it. They just need to win.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
Yeah, well, I think I'm locking in 3 wins for them in terms of the form, and then I think they can even get 4 or 5, and that would definitely lock them into top 4.
Well, they've got another bye. The Warriors have already had there, so there's 2 points that they gain on them straight away.
Yep.
But the Storm Sharks also have 1 too.
Yeah, I think the Storms and Sharks are going to be fifth. Storm and Sharks 5th and 6th, and then Raiders up to 4th. Just that good record and really good offense. So yeah, $5.50. I don't mind that one as a future.
Nice. Good stuff. All right, Alex, I think you've got the games for today for a Raid My Multi.
Yeah, so I've got 2 today. So New Zealand to win to nil and under 2.5 goals. Look, that game against Norway wasn't great, but they managed to get away with the win. The conditions were terrible. It was raining. It was New Zealand. What can you say? Philippines weren't too bad in defence. They haven't got much in attack, but their defence is okay. Some of these lesser nations, they're going with build from the back and go forward. Doesn't matter. Hey, you don't get flogged. You don't get embarrassed on the world stage. You know what? Not bad. So, this could be 1-0, 2-0, thinking that there. And then Norway and under 2.5. They were terrible against New Zealand. They should have won that game. They looked just flat. There was no just fluidity in their movement. Their final balls into the attacking third were just horrendous. Yeah. Everything was bad. Yeah.
It was.
You got to lift Norway,
really
seriously.
Good 12th ranked
for a team that we thought would go do something this World Cup, it was terrible. I'm thinking like a 1-0, 2-0 win as well. They should have enough for Switzerland, but they're going to be up and about, obviously, after winning their first game. But I think Norway and under 2.5 is the go for those 2 games. $10.41 with our pals at Ladbrokes.
Yeah, because I saw you get $2.65 for New Zealand and under, which is crazy for.
Yeah, but I'm going win to nil and under.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sorry, win to nil and under.
So New Zealand win to nil was one of the ones that I had in yesterday's.
Yeah. You had it today, yeah.
And then the under is like just it sort of screams out at you as well, right? New Zealand aren't going to pile on 8 goals.
No.
So.
And it's been the games in New Zealand that have been the unders so far. Like obviously last night we had the 6-0, you had the 4-0 as well. Like a lot of the New Zealand games have hit the under. You had the 3-0 and 2 America games which were 3-0 go over.
Yeah, the weather over there, it's not the best time.
So this is
great.
So $10.41.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm on that.
9.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to rate that.
Nice.
That's
put it all on when your winnings on Super.
Like the
hey, $12.50. Seriously, take it. It'll drop today, tomorrow, because they're like, oh yeah, West Coast have no backline.
Yeah.
I think the
we got to rate it. Yeah.
I gave it a 9.5. Stats go.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10. I don't think we've ever had a 10, but I'm giving it a 10.
New Zealand to win to nil and under 2.5.
Yeah.
And Norway and under 2.5. I love it.
Nice.
I hate betting unders, but I feel it.
No, the unders in this tournament have been good, other than last night.
Yeah.
Rate my multi for tomorrow's games.
Ooh.
Mine. Japan and over 3.5.
Yeah.
Spain and over 3.5. Canada and over 1.5.
Oh, I was going to say.
They don't have Jonathan David.
Yeah.
Still Canada.
Is his wife over there?
$5.02 for those 3. You've gone the 2 unders. I'm going 3 overs. Let's do it. The only problem I've got is maybe Canada.
Yeah, Canada. That's my worry.
The over 1.5.
They should. They're
feel
very
they might
good
be able to
team.
sneak out the second goal.
I'm going 8 because Canada.
Yeah. It's the only tough one that I looked at this.
Yeah, I'll give it
like,
8.5 because of that as well.
I like it.
Like, pretty good.
I'll take the $5.02 though. I feel pretty good about that. Canada, look, I think they're one of the more interesting teams going, right? Just in terms of
their ranking is a bit. Well, we're looking at it in terms of the build-up. Their ranking's a bit higher than their form, like sort of suggests. Like they're 7th in the world, but I'd still rank like a few other teams ahead of them. Yeah, stuff
still
like that.
like my $5.02.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, there we go. That's
Nice.
it. Done. Go Bet Daily done for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow, talking probably some cricket, some Women's World Cup, maybe some footy. See what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever we want.
Lots going on. Either way, get right around the show. Subscribe on your podcast app, like, review, and star it. And check us and follow across all the socials. What is it? YouTube, Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch.
Threads.
Threads. And send any questions, any multis you want us to rate. We'll get Stats Guy to rate them for you.
Sure.
And I think that's it. Thank you, Alex.
Cheers.
Way to rep the brand as well in the t-shirt.
Yeah, I like
looking
it.
good. And thanks, Stats Guy,
Thank
for
you.
looking like you're sitting in the torpedo seat in the car on the road trip
It's comfy.
between mum and dad.
Can we stop at the next servo?
Can we get Macca's after this show,
I
guys?
need to go to the toilet.
No, Liam, you just went.
I got this bottle. It's all good.
Oh, gross. All right. Thanks, as always, to Gerald for producing, apparently today. I don't know what he's doing over there.
He's pushing buttons.
And Leo, of course, our social guy. What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in. Happy punting. We'll catch you tomorrow. Go Bet Daily. Out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.